The US Open is once again making headlines, but this time it is not because of an incredible shot or a dramatic playoff. Instead, the biggest talking point surrounding the tournament is a growing debate over new rules and how they could affect some of the biggest names in professional golf. Reports, interviews, and social media discussions have fueled speculation that several top PGA Tour players are less than happy with the direction things are heading. While not every rumor has been confirmed, the conversation has become impossible to ignore. So what exactly is happening? Why are fans talking about 9 of the tour's biggest stars? And could these changes create even more tension between players and golf's governing bodies? Let's break it all down. Over the past few years, professional golf has experienced more change than almost any other period in its history. Between the rise of live golf, changes to the PGA Tour schedule, new signature events, and constant discussions about the future of the sport, players have had to adapt again and again. Now another layer has been added to the conversation as new US Open rules and policies become a major topic of debate. Some players believe the changes are necessary to protect the integrity of the championship, while others reportedly feel they could create unnecessary challenges or place too much pressure on competitors. One of the biggest concerns discussed by fans and analysts is how rule changes can affect preparation. Professional golfers spend months planning their schedules, practicing specific shots, and preparing for particular course conditions. When new regulations are introduced close to a major championship, even small adjustments can have a significant impact. Whether the changes involve equipment, pace of play, qualification procedures, or course setup, every detail matters when players are competing for one of golf's most prestigious titles. According to various reports and discussions surrounding the tournament, several high-profile players have privately expressed concerns about how these adjustments could influence competition. It is important to note that not every report has been officially confirmed by the players themselves. However, the growing conversation has raised plenty of questions about whether the balance between maintaining tradition and introducing modern changes has become increasingly difficult. Rory McIlroy has often been one of the most outspoken voices in professional golf. Throughout recent years, he has never been afraid to speak honestly about issues affecting the sport. Whether discussing scheduling, equipment regulations, or the future direction of professional golf, Rory has consistently encouraged transparency between officials and players. Although reports have linked his name to dissatisfaction over recent changes, his public comments have generally focused on ensuring players are properly consulted before major decisions are made. For many fans, that is a reasonable position, especially considering the importance of major championships. Scottie Scheffler, currently recognized as one of the most consistent players in the world, has built his reputation through preparation and discipline. Players like Scheffler often rely on predictable tournament conditions so they can fine-tune every aspect of their game. Any unexpected changes naturally attract attention because they could influence competitive balance. While there has been speculation surrounding his views, publicly he has continued focusing on preparing for competition rather than creating controversy. Xander Schauffele is another player frequently mentioned whenever conversations about fairness in championship preparation arise. Known for his calm personality and methodical approach, Schauffele has always emphasized consistency. Many analysts believe players with his style prefer stable conditions where success depends entirely on execution instead of adapting to last-minute changes. Whether he personally disagrees with every adjustment remains unclear, but his name continues appearing in discussions surrounding player concerns. Collin Morikawa has also been connected to broader conversations about the future of professional golf. Morikawa has spoken in the past about communication between officials and players, believing that transparency benefits everyone involved. If players feel their opinions are being overlooked, even well-intentioned rule changes can become controversial before a single shot is played. Patrick Cantlay has earned a reputation as one of golf's most analytical competitors. Throughout his career, he has carefully considered policies affecting professional golfers, including scheduling and tournament operations. Because of his thoughtful approach, many fans naturally look toward Cantlay whenever significant administrative changes occur. Whether or not he opposes every new rule, his perspective carries considerable influence inside the professional game. Justin Thomas is another major champion whose opinions are respected throughout the golf world. Thomas has often supported efforts to improve the sport, while also reminding officials that players are the ones competing under these regulations. Balancing innovation with fairness remains a challenge, and experienced champions like Thomas understand both sides of the debate. Jordan Spieth has always been passionate about preserving the traditions that make golf unique. At the same time, he has recognized that every sport must continue evolving. Finding that balance is never simple. Whenever governing bodies introduce adjustments affecting competition, players like Spieth often become important voices because they understand both the history of the game and the expectations of modern fans. Viktor Hovland has steadily become one of golf's brightest international stars. Known for his honesty during interviews, Hovland usually gives thoughtful answers instead of emotional reactions. If concerns exist among players regarding championship rules, voices like his often help provide a measured perspective rather than adding unnecessary drama. Finally, Max Homa has become one of the most popular personalities on the PGA Tour because of his openness with fans. Through interviews and social media, Homa frequently discusses everyday challenges professional golfers face. His willingness to communicate honestly has made him one of the sport's most relatable figures. While reports have suggested several players may have concerns, Homa has generally encouraged constructive conversations rather than conflict. So what exactly are players worried about? One possibility involves maintaining competitive fairness. Golfers invest enormous amounts of time preparing for major championships. Sudden adjustments to rules or tournament procedures can require players to rethink practice routines that have been carefully planned for months. From their perspective, consistency helps ensure every competitor has an equal opportunity to perform at their highest level. Another issue frequently discussed involves communication. Many athletes simply want earlier notice whenever significant decisions are being considered. Involving players during the decision-making process can reduce misunderstandings and build trust between competitors and tournament organizers. Even if not every suggestion is adopted, having an opportunity to provide feedback often improves relationships. Fans have also joined the conversation in large numbers. Some believe golf must continue modernizing if it wants to attract younger audiences. Others argue that constant changes risk damaging traditions that have made tournaments like the US Open special for generations. Both sides make valid points, which explains why these debates continue generating so much attention online. Golf has always respected its traditions, but history also shows that rules evolve over time. Equipment standards have changed, qualification systems have been updated, and pace of play initiatives have become more common. Every generation faces new challenges, and each adjustment typically creates debate before eventually becoming accepted or replaced by something better. The media has naturally played a major role in expanding this discussion. Headlines suggesting widespread player frustration generate enormous interest, especially during major championship week. However, it is important to separate confirmed statements from speculation. Not every rumor circulating online accurately reflects what players truly believe. Interviews, official press conferences, and direct player comments remain the most reliable sources for understanding their actual opinions. Despite all the speculation, one thing remains certain. Once the tournament begins, attention quickly returns to performance on the course. History has repeatedly shown that great players adapt to changing conditions better than almost anyone else. Regardless of weather, course setup, or administrative decisions, champions ultimately earn their victories through skill, preparation, and mental toughness. For tournament organizers, this situation also presents an opportunity. Listening carefully to player feedback while protecting the traditions of one of golf's greatest championships could strengthen confidence throughout the sport. Successful leadership often depends not only on making decisions but also on explaining why those decisions are necessary. For the players, maintaining professionalism throughout these discussions remains equally important. Disagreements are natural in every sport, especially when careers, rankings, and major championships are involved. Respectful dialogue gives everyone the best chance of finding solutions that benefit both competitors and fans.